Hi, what does bowling have to do with marriage and storytelling? Great question, and we're going to show you how. The main thing we want to focus in on today is just like when you're a great bowler, you got precision and you got focus. Well, to do a great story and to have a healthy marriage, you got to have clear communication and great goals. And so we're going to show you how you can apply bowling techniques to telling your story and having a healthy marriage. Hi, thanks you for joining us on Tuesday Talk.
I'm Phyllis, and this is Dave. And you all probably don't know this, but I used to love to bowl. I actually wanted to be a professional bowler,
Yes.
but but that didn't happen. So I did keep my ball, and I wanted to ask the question today. I want to start with the question asking you what happens when you're bowling and you take your eyes off the pin. You're ready to throw the ball, but you take your eyes off the pin. What do you think is going to happen? More than likely, you're going to get a gutter ball, or it certainly won't go down the lane the way you want it to go down the lane. So the key is to focus. And just as you have to focus when you're ready to throw the ball to hit those pins, you have to also focus when you're ready to tell your story or ready to write that book. Focus is the key. And what we teach is you keep your focus by knowing your why. Why are you writing your story? What's the reason that you want to share your book with someone else? That why is so important. And keeping the why before you will help you when you're wanting to give up, when you're tired of writing, when you don't know what to do next. Think about the why. That person who needs to hear that story, that person who needs to read that book, and that will help you to keep going as you are ready to move forward with telling your story, ready to move forward with writing your book, and ready to move forward as keeping your focus, your eyes on the goal. Each time you keep your eyes on the goal, you are going to have a perfect finish. So don't forget, keep your eyes on the goal. Focus.
Wow, excellent. Thank you. So, this part of our video will talk about how bowling and marriage relate. And even in bowling, you're not going to get the perfect score every time. I mean, yeah, 300 every time you bowl will be phenomenal. But people win tournaments, they win championships with a 280 or 290. The problem with a lot of times in our relationships, we want them to be perfect all the time. And that's not reality. So one of the things you have to do is you have to understand, just like you do in bowling, when the ball gets off or if it goes in the gutter, you have to make adjustments. You have to look at your alignment. So we're going to give you a couple of tips. One is on alignment, and the other is on adjustments. Alignments and adjustments you have to make in marriage. So Phyllis told you earlier that she loved bowling. Matter of fact, in college, while we were dating, we went to her school and she took me to the bowling lane there. And I was curious. I saw these little diamond-like things on the bowling lane, and I couldn't figure out what they were. And she said, "Those are the things to help you to align. If you follow those little symbols and line up with them, it increases your chance of having a better ball or getting a strike." I want to encourage you. There are symbols, there are signals in your marriage that you've been ignoring. But if you would pay attention to them, it would really increase the ability for you guys to connect, to really have a strike, or have a better date night, or just stop arguing so much, or even better, fall in love once again. Get in alignment with the signals. Why is that important? One of the reasons that's important is things change. You have to change lane sometime. You don't change the game, you just change the lane, which brings me to the second point now, being adaptable. This is something I didn't know until I did a little research, but Good bowlers know that depending upon the lane they're on, depending upon the oil and the grease that's on the lane, they have to adjust their throw. Now, what does that got to do? Am I saying you have an oily marriage or a greasy marriage? No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is we change over time. We have to be adaptable. She's not the same person I met 47 years ago. I'm a better person than I was 47 years. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'm a better person than I was 47 years ago. But you also have to understand who they are, what they're doing, and that takes communication. That takes focusing. That takes adaptation. So, fellas, what you used to do 10 years ago may not work to make her happy. And ladies, what you did 5 years ago may not be the same thing that's going to help your relationship to grow and to prosper. So, just like in bowling, you want to make sure you know the alignment and make the proper adjustments. It's just give you notification. Just hit OK. And you can just start it back up. And again, this is live. Go back into Zoom. See, you're right there.
We were communicating.
All right. Hey, hopefully you've learned something. This has blessed you. And we want to see you again next week, next Tuesday for Tuesday Tips. But before we go, check in the description. I've got a link to a free giveaway that I want to give to you. So please take advantage of that. Phyllis?
You can also sign up for my weekly newsletter, and the link, everything is in the show notes below.
Yeah.
And we thank you so much for having fun with us while learning. So we look forward to seeing you back next Tuesday on
Tuesday Talk with Dave and Phyllis.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.